Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to WWE Smackdown Live Review, August 1st, 2017. Um, give my overall opinion about SmackDown Live's episode for tonight. This show only had two good matches on the entire card, and the rest of it was a crapshoot. There's nothing all that entertaining about this show that stuck out to me, nor was it appealing to me whatsoever. Raw kicked SmackDown's ass this week in episodes. I mean, there is really nothing that I can say about this that was all that great. I just think that SmackDown had two really great matches, and that was all you can say about this. Give me 1 second to pull up the play-by-play, or so-called thingy-mabob, what I want to say. Okay, guys. So basically, it started off with AJ Styles and Kevin Owens for the United States Championship. Once again, why this is happening, who fucking knows why this happened outside of introducing another person to be involved with this match, and that was Shane McMahon. Basically, the ending of this match, you see Kevin Owens pretty much getting his shoulder off the mat. The referee couldn't see it because he got dinged in the eye, and he just couldn't see that the shoulder was off the mat, so it was a bad call by the ref. And so they introduced Shane McMahon into a rematch with him and AJ Styles for the United States title. Match in itself was outstanding. I thought it was very well put together. 4 out of 5 stars, definitely. But the ending just seemed like it was just an excuse to have another rematch, which I think is stupid. If you're going to have the rematch, just have it at the fucking SummerSlam pay-per-view, and to hell with it, and skip all the garbage. Personally, I thought they were going to have Shane McMahon face Kevin Owens one-on-one at SummerSlam, but that's not the case either. Kind of sucks, because I think that match would have probably been pretty damn good. Give, AJ Styles another opponent to compete against for the United States title, preferably maybe John Cena, now that he is no longer in the hunt for the WWE Championship, which we'll get into more information on that. But yeah, John Cena loses to Shinsuke Nakamura in another awesome match, which I'll get in more detail about. The action went back and forth between AJ and Kevin Owens. Pretty much, if you've seen the Backlash pay-per-view match that they had, this one had a finish with a crappy ending to it. That's pretty much what you're gonna see here. You're not going to miss much in this match. It is pretty much the same thing with great wrestling techniques and skills, all wrapped into one match, with an ending, but a kind of crappy ending. So it kind of sucked with the ending part, because it didn't have a conclusion to this rivalry, and I think at this point they should just conclude the rivalry altogether. The title has been switched about 2 times between the two of them. I think it's about time it just comes to an end. So, after that, let's see here. Okay, so after that, we go backstage. I told you they'd give the announcement about the whole situation with AJ Styles is gonna face Kevin Owens once again for the United States title, because Shane McMahon did not like the ending of that match. He thought Kevin Owens got screwed, which in retrospect he did, and he gave him a rematch. So Kevin Owens bitched and complained, said, no, this ain't good enough. I want more out of this than just that. And he says, I want a referee that knows what the hell they're doing, and will call the match right down the middle and actually have a good investment in this match than screw me over out of another championship opportunity. So Daniel Bryan looks at Shane McMahon and says, well, hey, Kevin Owens, you know what? How about we just do this? How about we just have Shane McMahon referee the match, and that'll be a great substitute. And he flipped out and he said, what are you freaking talking about? He's actually the worst person to have because he's incompetent as a referee. He has no referee skills. He has no experience as a referee, which legitimately he doesn't. If anything, he turned the match into a fucking free-for-all, hardcore match, and there you go. That's pretty much your match. But whatever. Very lame reason to drag Shane McMahon into this situation. Honestly, I did not like the idea. There should have just been a finish and put an end to Kevin Owens and AJ Styles. If you didn't want to finish it on SmackDown, finish it on fucking SummerSlam. One of the two, but don't have another United States Championship match on SmackDown, then SummerSlam, and keep this ball rolling. Move on. Move on to something else. AJ Styles needs a new opponent. Kevin Owens has fought AJ Styles plenty of times since he's been the United States Champion. I mean, if you were going to go ahead and make anything change here, make fucking Kevin Owens the United States Champion. Or keep the belt off Kevin Owens. Make him move up into the world title picture. Have AJ Styles bring more prestige to the United States Championship and have him face John Cena for the U.S. title or something. I think that would be a great match for John Cena to, go off in the sunset with that last match before he takes a break from wrestling again. It's already been mentioned that he's taking the leading role in the new Transformers spin-off movie. So, I mean, fucking just give him a decent matchup to have, since he no longer is in the hunt for the world title. Something like that, but they have to stretch this shit out for whatever insane reason. I don't know why. So, we move into the New Day and a Usos segment. The New Day was nowhere to be found in this episode. Usos show up mocking the New Day. Very good segment by them. Had very good mic skills, everything. They have been fantastic. Why they had to drop the titles to the New Day is beyond me. I don't know why they ended up doing that, but that was just a stupid decision on WWE's part to drop the titles at Battleground between those two, because it was actually the only fucking good match that was on the card. Maybe John Cena and Rusev, depending on your taste on that kind of match. I actually enjoyed it. It was a pretty solid match. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't the greatest match. It's pretty much the same fucking thing. If you've seen one John Cena and Rusev match, you've seen them all. But it was a decent match nonetheless. But yeah, this was a very good segment by the Usos. There were some of the things that they said were kind of weak, but overall they did a very decent job with their segment. Then they had the Fashion Police doing a thing called Fashion Peaks. Still, I'm trying to figure out why they keep going on about this, but this is one of the things that makes SmackDown dreadful to watch and cringe-worthy, make you just want to turn off your fucking television set. It's disgusting. Then we had Sami Zayn have a match with Aiden English, and he loses. Sami Zayn loses to Aiden English. The guy can't sing worth a shit English, and he's crappy as a fucking wrestler. I am totally uninterested in this guy. I am not interested in him whatsoever. And they had to make Sami Zayn lose to him. How does that help Sami Zayn do anything at all to advance in being something on WWE? outside of putting him further down in rankings as a performer. Fucking horrible booking, horrible decision. And then they went off to have fucking Mike and Maria Kanellis make fun of Sami Zayn's loss and say we loved how you lost, how you lost the match. Like, why would I care whether or not you like that or not? And not to mention, why can't you put an end to this bullshit rivalry that means absolutely nothing to nobody? Michael Bennett, which is his actual wrestling name at the time, before he came to WWE, looked like $1 million in TNA, and here he looks like shit. He looked like he was looking like a mid-card champion on ROH. Here, he doesn't look any of the kind that you could make as a United States champion, as a WWE World Champion, as even a fucking women's champion if he was a female, for God's sakes. Michael Kanellis, or Michael Bennett as I rather call him, absolutely sucks on WWE. They are doing a horrible job with this dude. He belongs in NXT. He would fit well there. He wouldn't feel lost. He looks like he is a complete lost puppy on this show. They don't know what the fuck to do with this dude. And Maria is the only one probably benefiting from this because she is the only one out of the two that's remained the same character as she's been on each and every promotion. This character she is playing is pretty much the same person that I've seen on other promotions she's been on, from ROH to TNA. So, she's lost nothing in this situation. But Mike Bennett hasn't gained anything being on the main roster. This guy should have been put on NXT. I thought at first he was going to be alright on WWE's main roster. I felt like he was going to be star power. They're not making him star power of anything. They're making him dog shit on this show. I can't stomach him. He is absolute crap. And not like in the sense of, oh, I can't stomach him because he's annoying. I can't stomach him because he's just... They've made him look horrible. Make him look like a badass. Make him... In TNA, he was a guy that wanted to win a championship, would do anything at any cost to do that. He became an TNA X Division champion and was looking like a promising world champion at some point. Fortunately, that did not happen for whatever stupid reason, but most of the time it was Bobby Lashley as champion during that point. So I can understand why they wouldn't have Bobby Lashley and Michael Bennett go after the world title against each other. So I understand that because they were both heels. So it made sense to me. But here, fucking Michael Bennett is shit. He is going nowhere and he's going nowhere fast. Maria Kanellis is the only one benefiting from this because she's the same person she's been on any other promotion she's been in. That's all I have to say on that. Becky Lynch and Naomi versus Carmella and Natalya in this one-on-one match. Absolute shit. Did not care. By the way, going back, the Aiden English and Sami Zayn, 1 out of 5 stars. Complete crap. Becky Lynch and Naomi versus Carmella and Natalya. Again, I don't care. SmackDown's women's division is shit. Raw's division for the women is okay, but they're not making any sense either. Why would Bayley beat fucking Sasha Banks when Bayley has had numerous opportunities now to go up against Alexa Bliss and still lose both times? Oh, a third time's a charm or some kind of shit? Come on. It's pointless. And the whole thing's stupid, so that's just my attitude. But this match here I didn't even care. None of this matters. Becky Lynch and Naomi picks up the victory with a bad place submission hold on Carmella. Carmella taps out. Whoop-de-doo. Who cares? Jinder Mahal, who fucking cares? This guy's he talks, you can't hear him. You might as well put a hearing aid inside your fucking ear because he talks so fucking low. This guy is pathetic. And And why he's champion still, I have no idea. They should have put the fucking world title back on Randy Orton and left it as is. Randy Orton should have never lost the title. That's my belief. I believe Baron Corbin should have been the guy cashing in on Randy Orton, and Randy Orton should have just lost the title to Baron Corbin. That's it. We didn't even see Baron Corbin on the show, by the way, which is very surprising as well. Chad Gable versus Rusev. Another match. Not a big deal. It was okay. I mean, I'll give it a 2 out of 5 stars. I mean, it wasn't that bad. The women's tag team match, shit. 1 out of 5. That's all I'm giving it. Rusev goes on to bitch and moan like an impotent jerk and whatever, and he wants an opponent. He has nobody. So he goes from losing to John Cena for the 50 millionth time and only having 1 victory under his belt against John Cena, to having a new opponent that he can lose to and job out to. His name is Randy Orton. Yep, it's been announced Randy Orton's facing Rusev at SummerSlam in a one-on-one competition. I guess they felt the idea of making Randy Orton versus the Great Khali would be a very bad idea at that. Thank God that didn't happen, because if it did, I think we'd all want to shoot ourselves in the fucking heads. We saw that travesty with Batista and Great Khali several different times, and every time it failed, because the Great Khali can't wrestle. The reason why he can't wrestle is because he's too damn big, he ain't flexible enough, and on top of it, he's very, very stiff and very, very slow. Like Down syndrome slow. No offense to anyone with that disability, I apologize. I'm just stating a fact here. This is fucking slow as shit, this guy. So yeah, who the fuck cares? Thankfully, Randy Orton's got a little bit of a better of opponent, but he's going to face a guy that's lost to any big name star, and that's who Randy Orton's going to beat. Rusev. Big fucking deal. He hits an RKO on him to start things off for the whole entire competition for this one-on-one match. Quite honestly, they could have gone with Randy Orton putting the accolade and make it look a little different here. Give Rusev a bit of an advantage or something. Give him the idea, hey, this guy might be actually be able to have a chance to win. Yeah, right. But whatever. But you should expect Randy Orton to beat Rusev. If he doesn't, this is a complete mind shocker. So after that, we had John Cena versus Shinsuke Nakamura, the main event. This was a 4 out of 5 star as well. Very good action. I did watch JD's review on these shows for this match that was coming up this past week, or last week's Smackdown when it was announced. And he did state a valid point, and I have to agree with him. I mean, it was a great match, regardless of what his opinion was. But the guy, JD from New York, 206, I haven't watched this show. You ought to. He's a good reviewer and good analyst on wrestling. My personal opinion, I have to agree with him on this case because of the fact that he is stating this should be considered special. This should be held as something very precious and very important that should be placed on a bigger stage with a bigger scale on this instead of just a number 1 contenders match on a Smackdown episode. I agree with that. I really do. I think this match should have been held as a match that could have been placed on a major event pay-per-view, not SmackDown. But regardless of all of that and all the facts of that, we got a fantastic match. We got something to watch, something to enjoy. The beginning of the show and the end of the show were the best things on the card. The rest of the show was crap. The middle, it was shit. The ending and the beginning was all there was to the show. The rest of it, you didn't miss anything if you didn't watch anything else on the show. So, I mean, personally, I think they did okay with this idea. I just don't think that, like JD from New York 206, I think this is definitely something that should have been considered something to be special, something that could have been used for a big major event, pay per view show, and instead it was just treated as a just regular matchup for number one contenders. Um, I didn't even get the feel like this was a super big deal either. The not the referees, the commentators did not make this feel very much like a super big deal. I mean, they never announced it. I didn't hear anything like this is the first time ever. This is a huge match, and you guys are getting to watch it for free on television. We are providing this to you for free. Do not miss. I didn't get any of that kind of feeling when these guys talked about about this match. Nothing. Before the match even started, I did not get that kind of feel. I got a boring, bland feeling from the commentators. The same old rhetoric bullshit that I hear all the time on any other match. I didn't feel hyped for this match. I felt like I was going to be impressed. I knew I was going to get a good match, but I did not get the hype build that I think it deserved so that people would be really intensified and even be super excited than they were watching the match. Because they were into the match, regardless of everything else. But they did not make this feel like it was super important either, and it was on SmackDown on top of it. So I guess apparently if it's on SmackDown, you don't want to make it important. But what the fuck is wrong with you? This is John Cena, Shinsuke Nakamura, the head dog from fucking New Japan Wrestling against the head guy that was the main eventer for almost 15 fucking years. The guy that Vince McMahon was the new Hulk Hogan version of the modern day era of wrestling, and you make it like it's just a regular number one contenders match. This is a big number one contenders match because these two have never fought. Match though, freaking awesome. Regardless of all the things I'm saying, it should have been on a major pay-per-view. It should have been hyped up really big for SmackDown's main event match, and it was not. I think I saw it maybe once or twice. They, seldomly talked about it. That's it. Moved on. And I think that's shit, and I think that's horrible to John Cena and Shinsuke Nakamura, especially the hard work that these two guys put in the ring together. Uh, Shinsuke Nakamura, of course, as I've already mentioned, walked away victorious. John Cena had a very bad landing near the end of this match before he got um, the finisher that Shinsuke Nakamura uses on John Cena. And I'll tell you what, I thought he broke his neck, but apparently he seemed like he was okay after the match was over because he shook Nakamura's hand. He raised his hand up in victory and said, "You go win that fucking title," basically. So, very impressed with the match overall. 4 out of 5 stars, definitely. But once again, as I mentioned, this was not. It did not feel like what it deserved to get. It got very low. It just felt like another SmackDown main event match. It didn't feel like it was a hyped up SmackDown main event match. It didn't feel anything of the kind of nature it should have had, and it just was flat going in, and it just got better because of what Johnson and Nakamura did. If it wasn't for those two, the whole thing would have been complete shit. So, I mean, the announcers did not help build this at all as the viewer watching it on the television set. I thought this was absolute flat, crappy way of hyping the match up, despite the fact that it's being shown for free on SmackDown. And they made it even worse than it already was. They couldn't even make it any better than just, making it free. They didn't even want to make it seem that really that big of an important deal. Um, I mean, no excitement out of the commentators. I mean, you don't even see that anymore. There's no excitement come out of them. They just seem like they're kind of like handcuffed and told what to say through the headset by Vince McMahon. I think that's shit, and that's another reason why wrestling sucks. Is the announcers play a big role into what we watch because they help sell the match, and the wrestlers sell the match. Both the announcers and the wrestlers sell the match to the audience and help us get excited for this, but they don't. Most of the time, the announcers do not get this shit sold to the audience. And that is something that is really sad and pathetic because WWE announcing used to be fantastic. It used to feel more authentic. It felt like they were more talking than being told what to say, technically. But as WWE gets bigger and bigger in money, they become more and more corporate. And that does not work in professional sports. At least in this factor, it's not a sport, it is a professional entertainment promotional company. And I feel very bad for the fact that some of these guys that perform so well and have high talented skills, they end up being treated and used so poorly. But that is pretty much my whole opinion about this show. Uh, if you haven't seen the Smackdown episode, just watch the beginning of the show and the ending. The rest of it, you are not missing much. If you want to watch the Usos do their thing, go ahead. But other than that, this whole show was pretty much, if it wasn't for those two matches, there's nothing on this card that's worth watching. This show is absolute shit. But anyway, guys, hit the subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber. Leave your comments and opinions down below. And if you like the video, hit the thumbs up, and I'll see you later.